This is the noble gas form in the in the first orbit to be filled by 2 electrons. تمام. So for the hydrogen it needs to gain 1 extra electron or to lose this 1 electron. So for hydrogen, this is a specification. Which is easier for hydrogen, to lose or to gain? I will answer this. It is 50-50. To lose or to gain. So the only exception for group 1 is hydrogen. But when it comes to lithium, absolutely the lithium will lose the electron in the last shell. And when it comes to sodium, it is easier to lose the last shell. This is because of 2 reasons. The first thing is already we have a proton inside the nucleus of hydrogen, and there is an attraction force. Let's see if this is the proton and the proton is positive. And we have orbits, and we have an electron that this electron is negative. So there is an attraction force between the positive charge and the negative charge. And if the atom become bigger or larger, the distance between the positive charge and the negative charge, it will become more wider, which means that the attraction force, it will be much less, which means that it is easier for the sodium to lose the electron than hydrogen to lose electrons. So also here we have a resolution when it comes to reactivity. So please write this in your book. Like if we are going down, in the periodic table, any group 1 and group 2, when it comes to reactivity, we are going down, but the reactivity is increasing. Why the reactivity is increasing when we are going down? Because it will become more easier for the atoms in group 1 to lose shells. So when I ask you across the group 1, which one of the elements is the most reactive? The answer, it will be francium. Because for francium to lose the electrons in the last orbit, it will be much easier than hydrogen or lithium to lose electrons in the last orbit. The same case applied for group 2. It is much easier to lose electrons. The same case applied for group 3. And I'm asking you to know the features of the metals, like being malleable. It means like they are able to restructure, like we can make wires, we can make plates, we can make anything we want from metals, and they are electricity and thermal conductors. So you can read about these features that they are already written in many tables that you can find in your book. And in the book they are stating the features of these metals. So please, you can study these features of these metals from your book. The book contains like a substitution for your teacher. Like you can study from the book if you don't have a teacher, but if you have a teacher, just understand what I'm saying. And if you need to memorize things just like the tables, all of the tables, you need to memorize all of the tables. Tamam? The tables that they are including the features of metals and the features of noble gases, not the melting point and boiling point, because nobody is supposed to remember these informations. But when it comes to features of metals or feature of non-metals or naming of the groups, yes, you need to memorize all of these tables. Tamam? So the resolution we have, if we are going down across the group, the reactivity of the elements will increase. ليش? Why? Because it will be much easier for the metals to lose their last shell of electrons. So it is much easier for them to react. In the opposite of helium, because there is a strong attraction force between, hydrogen, between hydrogen and the only electron in hydrogen. So there is an attraction force that it really hard to be broken. About hydrogen, there is one additional information that I want you to know, that sometimes since only we have one proton in hydrogen. This is the nucleus of hydrogen, and let's say this is the first orbit of hydrogen. We have one electron, and this is the positive proton. So yes, sometimes the hydrogen reacts to lose this electron, and once the hydrogen loses this electron, it will have only the proton inside, and already the electron was lost. This means that the electron was lost. So the charge of hydrogen, it will be positive, because any element that loses its electron, it will become positive. So sometimes the hydrogen ion is being called a proton. Why it's being called a proton? Because the hydrogen atom, it loses its electrons, and only now it have one proton. Okay,